But what I'm saying is how you feel about yourself is ultimately what's more important than anything else. I've had times in my life where I'm way more jacked than I am now, even though I'm super happy with my physique now, and I didn't feel better about myself. So it's all about how you are internally. What is up, Pectus Gang? How you guys doing? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to go through a cheeky, my legs are cooked. I just went for a run. I'm changing over shoes now. I like to wear the Vivo barefoot shoes. I've had a few questions about that. Anyway, I'm going to come in today. We're going to do a back session. We're going to do an external torsion session. So the back side of our body, opening up the chest, opening up through the front side of our body, creating strength in these open positions in the back side of our body. We're just going to hang out. We're going to have some fun. We're going to train. We're going to do it. If I'm honest, I'm just feeling super lazy and I can't be bothered training. And so why not better reason to do it than to bring you guys along and take you through a session. Hopefully you can learn something. Hopefully you can at least be entertained, laugh, have some fun, enjoy, learn, whatever it might be. Let's get into it. So always I like to have a warm up. I just went for a 5-minute, well, it's more like a 7-minute run just around the block. And then now I'm going to do some basic rope flow and some stuff to warm up, and then we'll get into it. 3 core movements, that's what I'm doing at the moment with most of my sessions. I'm picking 3 core movements that I want to get better at. I recommend if you're trying to figure out where to start, how to train, what to do, just pick 3 things, 3 main movements for the day. Boom, boom, boom. That's your workout. And then if you feel inspired after that to continue doing other stuff, then go for it. But today, the 3 main movements for me that you guys are going to come along with. We're going to do some pull-ups, potentially weighted. I want to get 3 to 5 working sets in. I might throw the 20-kilo vest on and get a few. We'll see how we go, who knows. And then I'm going to do a external torsion row. Shout out to ET Strength for teaching me this one from Instagram, where we're going to open up our body and pull through our back. And then maybe just like a pullover or something as well. But anyway, why training back is super important for Pectus Excavatum. If you have pectus like me, then opening up our posture and not letting ourselves close down and have this like scared posture. And you can imagine, like, do I look more confident like this or like this? And that translates to how we feel in life as well. If you're feeling unconfident in your body, then you're probably going to feel not really open to opportunities, not really open to the world, not really stoked to be here. But if you can train yourself to be open, upright, and just have a confident posture, then over time that starts to translate into our mind as well, and then we feel just more at ease in the world and more stoked to be here, which ultimately, guys, that's what all of this is about. It's every last drop from life. That's why I do all this stuff, because I'm reminding myself, and hopefully you guys as well, that there's more to life than just averageness, suffering, and if you have body image issues, then letting that rule your life. We're here to get it and hopefully create opportunities and see how good life already is. The fact that you and I are communicating right now on the internet and all the stuff just blows my mind, and it's so incredibly cool that we get to do this. But because it's so normal, we lose how cool it actually is. So again, hopefully this is a little reminder for you guys, and always as myself, that life is fucking good. And we just have to keep showing up for ourselves and keep training, keep doing the things. So without further ado, guys, oh my god, I said it again. Without further ado, guys, let's get into the session. We're gonna warm up with some rope flow, and then we'll get into some pull-ups. Let's see if we get the 20-kilo vest on, baby. If you guys don't know what rope flow is, I highly recommend checking out Kaidos, our business Instagram page, where we go through unconventional training tools, tips, and techniques. But this is the rope flow. You can also follow WEC Method, ET Strength, all these other beautiful pages that show you how to use the tool, or you can check out the video on my profile. I'll link it somewhere here that is about the rope flow. But this is one of my favorite things to warm up with, just to incorporate these full body integrated movements into our body, and it just lights everything up, like our coordination, like hand-eye. You know, I'm not just lifting, I'm not just doing these really one-dimensional movements. I'm training my body in all these different ranges, like coming across my body, and just, I feel like it's just such a good warm-up, primes the body and brain, gets us ready for movement, and it's kind of just fun as well. So let's do it. Typically I'll do like a rope flow for anywhere from sometimes only like 2 minutes, but like 2 to 20 minutes depending on the day, depending how long it takes me to sort of get my mind in the zone, get in the game. And yeah, I just rate it as a warm-up. It's super nice, it's enjoyable. So many different flows to practice, so many different moves. Check this one out. Can I get it first try, baby? I believe it's called the mic release, where you let the rope go, catch it and carry on. Been trying to get that one for a while. But yeah, this one, rope flow, it's just so good for opening the body up. This is something actually that having Pectus has maybe had an impact, but it could just be asthma. Sometimes when I go for a run or do heaps of sort of cardio stuff, especially on cold days, I have a little wheeze that happens in my voice. So it's like, can you hear that little like the when I breathe in? So that is potentially from having Pectus, having the pressure on my lungs. I don't know if you guys experience the same thing, but I definitely notice the pressure on my heart and lungs. And as I'm getting older, I feel like there might be a bit of heart. I just feel a little bit of pressure on my heart, but it's hard to know if it's like actually because of Pectus or because of stress and stuff. Like the last couple months I've just found to be kind of stressful, and I'm now getting out of this little stressful phase. Like, you know, like winter just feels like less motivating, and I'm always trying to figure out the path of my life, and I always want to be super locked in and stuff. And sometimes when you don't have clarity, it's a little tricky. I wonder if you guys can relate to that. Like, just, you know, life is hard sometimes, man. Let's be honest. And the last couple months has been a bit of a test, and I feel like I'm coming out the other side of it now, and that is hugely to do with training and my breathwork and meditation practices of like just coming back to my more, I guess you could say, spiritual self. Quite often through being like super hardworking and disciplined, I lose the spiritual aspect of me, which is such a huge part of my being, and ultimately what I think is one of the more important aspects of life. So it's cool to be able to tap back into that. And yeah, I'm just feeling a little bit more stoked, excited and motivated each day. I mean, even the fact, I guess, that I'm making this video now is like a bit of a, yeah, it's a bit of a boost in the direction of motivation and stuff. So I hope you guys are feeling relatively all good and just like managing to get through. And if not, then maybe starting some new training, maybe signing up to the Pectus program is what you need. Maybe just changing your life and changing what you're up to. There's so many ways in which we can change. And I think novelty, doing new stuff, is super important. It's been a bit of a lesson for me lately, and like basically we're always gonna get what we've always got if we always do what we've always done. So if you want difference and different stuff in your life, then you've got to do things slightly differently. So if you're like me and you get stuck in your habits and like, you know, Groundhog Day, same shit, different day, then change it up, do some different stuff. I know it's hard, I know it sucks, I know it's tricky, but you got this. That's my warm-up, rope flow, let's go. It's a pretty windy day today, so please excuse the potential sounds in this video, but first set of the movement, I'm not gonna jump in and do a full body weight set or a weighted set. The first set of my first movement of each session, each day, I like to make sure that I do it in a relatively easy way. So right now I'm doing a banded pull-up to take a bit of the weight off my body, to just make this first one super easy. I'm gonna shoot for 12 to 15 reps and just warm up. Already feeling very much lit up in the lats. So if you guys struggle to do pull-ups, grab yourself a band, grab yourself some rings and a stick and some bands, grab yourself a gym membership so you can get into equipment like this where you can put the bands up. Or even do like a full assisted pull-up. You know, in the gym, they got assisted pull-up machines. Kind of just treating this video like a live stream in a way, just to build a bit of momentum back and like get in front of the camera more. And yeah, hopefully things unfold. I have so many dreams and stuff for the Pectus community, the Pectus Gang, and I really want to try and unfold all of that. So we'll see what happens. Set number 2, we'll call this working set 1. I'm gonna shoot for 10 quality pull-ups, and then we'll throw the vest on for another 3 sets. I'll be happy with 5 quality reps with this on. We'll see how it goes. Potentially gonna be pretty challenging. I don't know if you guys noticed with the last set, I'm trying to like pull all the way up so that it translates into muscle ups and stuff. Like, I don't just want to do pull-ups. A lot of my training is not really based around bodybuilding and stuff. Like, I want it to be more functional with building your physique as the byproduct of training well. So hopefully that makes sense. I'm not going to fully Velcro up. Sometimes I feel like it crushes me a little bit. Ooh-wee. That was tricky. I don't know if you guys remember the TikTok that is my best performing TikTok ever, but it was that Post Malone. I snuck a shot of Fireball in there purely for the video, but it triggered quite a few people being like, why would you only drink 1 shot? You're not even gonna get drunk. And yeah, it was just a fun piece of content to make. But point of saying that is I got this shirt at the Post Malone concert. It was actually so good. It was a real good gig. Post Malone can put on a show. I got to admit, it's quite motivating filming your session. Like, even if nobody really watches your stuff, or nobody, you know, watches your videos, whatever, then if making content is like a motivator to get you to train hard or get you to do something that you don't really want to do, that because you're making content with it, it forces you to do it, then fuck, make content. And even if no one watches it, then at least you're grinding, you know. Set number 2 of the vest. I really like this set. Like, got the Kairos logo in the background, got the natural lighting coming in. I think I might use this angle more for filming stuff. It's really good. You know, funnily enough, it was actually worse without having it Velcroed on. My last set, this back part was like flopping down, and it made it really difficult. So now I've got this on, Velcroed up. Let's shoot for 5 again. I'll be happy with 2 more sets of 5. It's pretty fucking hard. Definitely not as strong as I was with weighted pull-ups. One thing I do notice with Pectus, having this fat dent in my chest, like wearing a backpack or a vest, this stuff like really, if I'm not careful, it feels like it crushes me in and like fucks me up a bit. So yeah, just making sure that you're creating some space and not doing things that close you down more. And yeah, all I'm trying to say is sometimes wearing a backpack, sometimes wearing a vest for too long, if you're like me, then you start to get a lot of pain around the middle of your body, around your chest. And if you think about it, it makes sense. It's kind of like the opposite of the vacuum belt. It's like crushing us in, and we want to be open. But that's why when you have it on, when you have a backpack on, try to have as good posture as possible. Okie dokie. Working set 4, set 3 with the vest, final set. God, this is difficult today. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but quite often I try to get, I believe it's called a false grip, where you're sort of pulling through your forearm a little bit. And if you think about why, it's because when we're doing a muscle up, we want to pull and extend through our wrist. So the more control you have through the wrist, the more you're going to be able to come up to the bar and then roll yourself over. Whereas if you're holding straight here, getting to the bar, it's a lot more challenging. This gives you a lot more room to play and snap over the bar for muscle ups. So when I'm doing pull-ups, I try to pull myself like through from the forearms as well. I'm not just holding and hanging and pulling up. I'm also pulling like in this sensation as well when I'm doing a pull-up. Think about it, that would translate to rock climbing and stuff too. Feeling like a little weak bitch today, but we're gonna get it done. So, a quick rundown of external torsion. I want to externally rotate my arms, so externally rotate, right? And then I want to extend through my back as I'm rowing. So I'm creating this opening of the chest, the peeling back off the bench, and I'm externally rotating my arms. And when that translates to our posture and how we are just with pectus, the more externally open we are, the more chance of our bone, our xiphoid process, our sternum, the more chance it has to stay open. If we're in this internal torsion more, like I said at the start of the video, we're going to create more of a dent, so we want to be in external torsion in regards to our muscles being able to do it. I'm not saying we want to be like this all the time. I'm just saying we want our body to be able to relax naturally in this sort of mid position, and most of us are internal way more. So we need to figure out what movements to do, which is pretty much why I'm making this video, to just give you guys an understanding of how to keep your posture open, how to open up your body, what movements to train. This one I believe is super cool. If you don't have the weights like I'm about to do, then a great alternative is just to do Supermans, and you can even row in this position, or internal, external, internal, external. This is also a great movement to train your external torsion, to open up the front side of your body. But let's do the row. I'm really enjoying this. Again, shout out ET Strength, Unconventional Fitness, legend. Here we go. The amount that this movement lights my back up is just wild, like the whole posterior chain. It's probably good to extend your glutes and get everything lit up, but honestly, like, this is just gonna create so much strength in the spine, the back, and keep us open. And honestly, in my opinion, that's like half of the problem with pectus, is just, yeah, we close down. I've said it 1,000 times and I'll keep rambling about it until the day I goddamn die. We want that open chest. We want a strong posterior chain. We want to teach ourselves to be open in the world so that we can feel open to the opportunities that come up in life and the world. So important, so important. So yeah, external torsion. Kind of feeling like I want to pick up the pace a little bit, get my heart rate up a little bit more. I'm typically on this going to do 10 to 12 reps. It's less strength-based stuff, like just to make things really simple. The more time you spend in a movement, so the more reps that you do, the more familiar you'll get with it. So if you're learning a movement pattern and you're not good at something, do heaps of reps of it. If you've got the movement pattern sorted and you just want to get stronger in it, stick to lower reps. But if you want a sort of a balance in between, familiarity plus being able to work with some weight that feels really challenging, then 10 to 12 reps. That's just my take on it, and that's what feels good for me, and that's what I like. But also, that's sort of what we learned at uni as well. So, you know, strength 1 to 5, hypertrophy 5 to 12, and then muscular endurance / familiarity 12 to 20. So that's kind of what I base a lot of my training off. We'll do some handstands in between just because I'm feeling good. It's funny, you move your body and then you feel fucking good afterwards. How classic. First try, baby. Most of handstands actually comes from the wrists. So getting strong wrists, getting strong forearms, being able to manipulate your body through your hands, so important. Feeling really good today on the handstand, stoked. As you guys can see from this video, it's more of a hangout, train with me vibe than it is like the last Pectus program video. I'm cutting out a lot of the talking from that last video, or the Pectus program rather. Whereas this, I'm just rambling. This is probably terrible lighting and stuff, but like you can see when I externally rotate my arms and pull down, how much of my back gets lit. And that's what we're trying to do in this row, is pull from our back and like peel ourselves up into this open posture. You can really see if I'm like here, right, versus boom here, you could, I mean, it's so obvious how much better that's going to be for our heart and lungs and the development of our bones and chest and everything. I wish I was onto this when I was younger, and hopefully you guys are relatively young, or some of you, and you can get in it. Oh, one plate heavier, forgot. Let's get it. Again, if you don't have this movement, you got Supermans or skydivers, whatever you want to call it. I think 3 movements will probably do it today. We'll see how we go. I want to get my breathwork meditation in. I want to make a video for you guys about that. It's the most transformative practice. Just feeling okay, like, fuck, just feeling okay about things. Like, doesn't have to be fantastic, but just feeling okay about your life, about what's happening, about the shit you've been through. Just feeling okay in general, in my experience, is like, that's the seed of motivation. Like, once I'm okay, then things find me, then I'm open to the world, then I'm inspired, then good things happen. So breathwork, meditation, and some sort of mindfulness practice, like creating a calm state that you can feel okay in, is just like, in my opinion, step 1 to building the life you want, doing things you want, feeling okay, finding just everything, passion, purpose, partner, like connection to the world and those around you. Starting off with just feeling okay. You don't have to create this crazy empowered state, which can happen, but you just have to feel okay. Once you feel okay, then you start to feel okay about doing different stuff and creating new stuff in your life, and it's gonna be okay, man. That line was crisp at the end there. You gotta fucking love forcing yourself to do stuff that makes you feel good. You know? I'm stoked, guys. I really didn't want to do this today, but here we are, and I'm feeling great. Last set. Wow. Maybe just raw clips of these long videos is an easy way to get short form content, because it's pretty tricky trying to script, plan, film. But in these chats, there's always some good stuff that comes through in these videos. Maybe I'll just clip them up and post them. Damn, that first set of handstands was on, and then shoo. Alright, final movement. Let's pick 2 again. We got the pullover, and we'll also do, let's go a Smith machine bent over row, mainly because they suck and my posterior chain, glutes especially, could do with some strengthening. So a huge part of my philosophy is just like spending time in movements. Like if you get too caught up in all of the science, the optimal rep ranges, the optimal this, the optimal that, forget all that and just spend time in different positions. That's like my movement philosophy. Just spend time in different positions, and once you've nailed the positions that you want to spend more time in, that you enjoy, then you can get a little bit more structured with your sets and reps and stuff like that. I'm calling that an external torsion pullover, pull through, swag. Bent over row, I'm going to do a supinated grip. Excuse me. So my hands are going to face forward. I'm going to pull straight into my belly bum. Even though that's pretty light, I'm pretty weak in that position. Like, I don't spend a lot of time in this position anymore. And you can imagine that's going to be good for strengthening your glutes, your hamstrings, your calves, posterior chain, extensors through the back to hold your body in that position. It's on. All right, let's bust out. 2 more rounds, back to back. 3 rounds total of this superset. And then we'll call it, guys. Keeping it simple. If I just keep my training simple, then I do it. And it seems that if I bring you guys along for it too, then I also do it. So that's cool. Damn, the pump on that. The feeling of pulling your whole scap back feels good. 12 reps of this. What animal? Fun fact, 12:30, I'm still fasted, getting them fasting gains. Yesterday, my parents are up, and so I let my nutrition go whenever I see my family, just because I don't want it to be something I have to think about with them, and I'm locked in most of the other time. And I had some naughty food yesterday, giving my belly a bit of a chance to recover today. I'm also going to lock in for some carnivore this week, which will be fun. Do a couple days maybe. See how I feel. Last set. Something that I think about heaps, guys, is we want to build a strong physique. We want to build a strong body. I get that. But not at the price of feeling good in our skin. Not at the price of worse actual health, real health. Not at the price of feeling crap just to look good. You know? Know what I'm saying? So, yeah. I strongly encourage you guys with your training to really think about it from the perspective of the things that feel good for your body, the things that open up your body, the things that take the pressure off your heart and lungs, the things that give you a stronger fighting chance at being in a happy, healthy body. How you look is one thing that really doesn't fucking matter, but how you feel about your body and in your body is what really matters, guys. And obviously building your physique and gaining confidence through expressing yourself in your body. Yes, it's going to make you feel confident. Gaining muscle and strength and size is going to make you feel more confident. I'm not saying that that's not true. But what I'm saying is how you feel about yourself is ultimately what's more important than anything else. I've had times in my life where I'm way more jacked than I am now, even though I'm super happy with my physique now, and I didn't feel better about myself. So It's all about how you are internally, building momentum, showing up for yourself every day, treating yourself with love and kindness, and obviously discipline too, staying on your path, locking into the things that make you feel better, not giving yourself excuses for why to not do things like I was gonna do for myself today. But fortunately you guys helped me out here and I got my training in. So appreciate you guys checking this video out. Shout out to the Pectus Gang. You guys are legends. I know how hard it is hating your physique and hating your body, but the more time and effort we put into self-development and bettering ourselves for the people around us, for our wider community, for our friends and family, for our partners, for ourselves, that's when we feel good about life. It doesn't really matter what we look like. So I encourage you to go out there and get every last drop from your life. Much love, guys. Appreciate you tuning in. I'm gonna go eat, get my practices in, do some editing, see my family after that. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Appreciate the Pectus Gang. And even if you don't have Pectus and you watch this video, I appreciate you as well. Let's keep encouraging each other. Let's get every last drop from life. Peace, guys. Swag.